Hi, today's lesson is called the semi-smothered mate. It's a form of checkmate. Please watch my video on Philidor Legacy Smothered Mate before watching this video. This is very similar to that mate, except in the semi-smothered mate, the defending king is only partially hemmed by its own pieces. And the most common form of this features a preliminary queen sacrifice to a knight checkmate. In this position, it's black's turn. Can you see the best move for black? In this position, this looks like a good position. This forks the king and the queen and says check. And notice the king cannot move to the g file because of the rook over here on g6. So the only thing white can do is take it, and black can take back and be up in material. The problem is, that's not check. It's white's turn. White could come down here and say check. Black's only response is to back up. And white comes down here to c8 and says checkmate. So is there a better move for black? Black can actually sacrifice the rook or the queen in this position. The queen comes down here to g1 and says check. The white king cannot take it because of the rook, so the only thing that white can do is take it with the rook. Do you see checkmate? The knight now is going to go to f2, forking the king and the queen, but more importantly, checking the king. The king can't come over here because of the rook over here, and it is checkmate. Let's look at another position. Okay, in this position, it's white's turn. His bishop is being attacked. So white brought his bishop over here to f1, attacking the queen. In this position, do you see a semi-smothered mate? In this position, believe it or not, black is going to leave his queen there and bring his knight over here to g4. He sacrifices his queen, and then the knight here takes f2, checking the king. The king can't move here because of the pawn here in f3, and that is another semi-smothered mate. Let's look at this position. In this position, there's a lot going on. The white queen is being attacked by the knight. Black is also attacking here for check, but it's white's turn. Pause the video if you need help. What should white do? In this position, white's knight is going to come over here to g6 and say check. Notice the king cannot go to g8 because of the bishop way over here on a2. So the only thing black can do is bring his king to h7. White's knight is now going to come here to f8 and say check. Notice, this knight is being attacked by the rook and the bishop but cannot be taken because this is a double check. A discovered check and a check. A double check. So the only thing black can do here is move back. He can't block because he's still in check. He can't take because he's still in check. He can't come here because of the bishop. So he can only back up. Now in this position, white could of course just check again and go back and forth. But instead, white's queen is going to come here and say check. The king cannot take the queen because of the knight. The king can't go here because of the queen and the bishop. So the only thing black can do is take the queen with the knight. And in this position, how does white win? The white knight comes up here to g6 and says check. Black has to move, but can't go to g8 because of the bishop. And that is a semi-smothered mate. This one is very similar to another one. Can you see checkmate for white? Remember, whenever there's a king in the corner like this, and there's knights involved here, and there's a knight here in f6, if you can get a knight here, maybe a bishop in this diagonal, in this position, you're going to sacrifice the queen, has to take, knight comes up here, and this is called a semi-smothered mate. Thanks for watching.